No, Michael K. Sterling, man, that was a great scene because
Sterling K. Brown.
I mean, Michael K. Sterling K. Brown. Jesus. Damn, I'm just made up a name for him.
Are you sure you're not on that Wakanda purple man?
Letters in there.
Michael Washington III.
Michael KXW Malcolm.
Nah, this.
Oh, man.
And I'm talking about Jenny Liano with our featured artist limited edition shirt, the Double Demon shirt. And this shirt has been selling very well, which is another reason why we extended this. A lot of people want this. Over there on dtmerch.com, you see we have that shirt that we were talking about with Jenny Liano. We also have the Sidekick 3000. I guess he's selling well enough that he's sticking around. My favorite shirt that I'm going to start wearing very soon, I used to wear all the time, the black cotton tee with the white logo and many other things. Become a subscriber just to help us support and keep these wonderful shows going on, or join to be part of the shows. You know, when you become a subscriber, you have access to many things. One of those being part of the show when we do our live streams. And there's many ways to become a subscriber, but I recommend one of the most convenient ways, which is taking your Amazon account and using our Amazon Pay button, put your username, password in there, and hallelujah, Martin. Just sitting back and enjoying the gift of toasty goodness being poured all over your body. We're going to have a deep discussion, a spoiler discussion. You can't go deep without being a spoiler about Black Panther. And I thought I also want to be fair. Now, Martin and myself, you can see we are two Negroes. And, you know, of course.
That's how most people refer to it.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I refer to you as.
Yeah, we go to restaurants. May I help you, Negroes?
I can't say that.
Yeah, that's how you first met us.
Your ancestors called them that. So,
My ancestors did not do that.
Yeah, there's 2 bags in the trunk.
Yeah.
You get those.
Yeah, I believe that your first words to us when you first came in and watched the show, you know, for some Negroes, that was pretty good. You know,
very well spoken.
you don't remember that? Yeah. Wow, you guys, you Negroes dropped some intellect. I didn't expect that. Thought you were just going to be funny. But
Oh, man.
no.
This is going to be like for the entire review.
No, it's not.
Like,
Did you go to one of those colleges?
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not going to be like that. I wanted Chris Herman to be here because the point is that a lot of people are going to look at Martin and myself and they're going to be like, well, yeah, you're going to say you like it. What else are you going to say? Because if you don't say it, you're going to be a traitor. So you're obligated to say you like the movie. In order to have a fair and balanced spoiler talk about this, now you got the black, but we needed some white and brown up in here. We got the white, got the brown. Who said boo? Somebody said boo. That was not me, and I do not condone that, by the way. Let's go ahead and get into the discussion of Black Panther. Black Panther made, what was it, $190 million?
$192 million on the 3-day weekend, and 215 the 4-day estimated.
Exceeded all expectations on all fronts.
What kind of king you are going to be? Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
Yeah! I love that part. Every time I see it, get them chills. But I saw this 3 times this weekend. Now, I saw it once at a preview screening for critics. Then on Friday, I had don't take any offense to the way I label this. I have to say this, but I had my white friend invite me. I think he was under the impression that if you brought a black friend, you get like a free popcorn or something.
You would grant him safe passage.
Yeah. Actually, I went to the Alamo, and like we were saying, there were more. There was a multitude of people in there, but there were more white people in the screening than there were people of color.
Yeah, there's more white people in this town.
Yeah. Like this weekend, if you want to catch some black people, all of them in Austin, go to the movies. Just drop the bars on the front of the theater. Run off with them. We got them all. Damn, that was the easiest.
Honestly, when I hear people talking about the film and Wakanda, and especially listening to Carlos when I came in, it's a certain level of passion. The last time I remember people talking about a movie like this, it was Avatar. Where they felt like they got transported to this other world that was better than where they live, and they just wanted to live in.
I mean, that was the thing with me, having read the comics. I was surprised by how well they captured just the aesthetic of that world. I mean, combining African culture with this futuristic sci-fi kind of thing, that really worked. And yeah, the costumes were beautiful. Everything from just a production standpoint, this movie succeeded in.
There's one person I can't wait to see blend in with everybody else, and with one person in particular.
Remote driving system activated.
Wait, which side of the road is it?
For God's sake, just drive.
You know, Shuri, man, played by Letitia Wright. I can't wait to see. She has to actually get together. Like Tony Stark got to come in and be like, "Damn, girl." yeah, man. I cannot wait for that to happen.
Science bros and sister.
Yeah.
All the fan art.
And that girl, Letitia Wright, she's such a standout here, man. That girl is going to be big.
She brings a lot of the kind of humor to the film, I think, that might have been missing. You know, she brings a lot of that human element that I think where Black Panther, he's a very stoic character, she brings that out in him. Through their kind of sister-brother relationship.
Almost all the humor is hers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's that moment where, you know, you get to see Black Panther finally be off guard.
Yes.
Because I was talking about Black Panther before and how in the movie everybody's more interesting than he is, but it confirmed what I thought. My wife said, "You know what? I really like Black Panther," and I was like, "Well, why do you like him so much?" She said, "Because he carries himself like a king."
Yeah.
She says, you know, and I even said that in my review. I said, "There's other people who are more interesting than him because of their storylines, whatever. But he has to carry himself with grace. But when he gets around his little sister, it's good to see how he acts like just a big brother right there. You know, it's I love that dynamic with that right there.
Whether it be through a line or just a gesture, like just in that moment, it captures like, yeah, he has to be stoic. He has to be very regal. I mean, he's not only a superhero, but he's a politician. And with
That's
this,
true.
to give him this moment, it humanizes him enough to where, like, okay, I can identify with him.
In the bigger Marvel Cinematic Universe, I wonder if he's gonna get around other Black people and start trying to radicalize them. You know, like, hey, Falcon, why you a house nigga for Captain America? You know, like,
Brother, what are you doing?
Yeah, but where is your movie?
Come to Wakanda. I'll give
Man,
you
leave me alone. Why don't you go talk to Rhodey?
You don't even have powers, and you're doing more shit than them. You're the slave.
Go help Rhodey. He's paralyzed.
It's like, brother, leave me alone, man. Moving on to some things in the film that I think are being highly overlooked, and something that maybe I could have alluded to in my review. I didn't, and I feel bad about it, but that's what this is for right here, and I can go into more depth about it. The character of Mbaku.
Yeah.
Man, no one's talking about this character, and this is a breakout character in the film. The character is played by an actor. His name is Winston Duke. And
That's a great name.
I know. Two things that went on with this character that I love. First of all, when the character first came in, if we remember the movie, they had the challenge for King. Nobody challenged him. But Mbaku came out with them gorilla barks. Oh, motherfucker. You know? And even everybody was like, oh, shit, this big
Why are you doing this?
This big ass gorilla.
We were just going to be fine. We're going to go home, have lunch.
Yeah.
Have a nice party.
Yeah, man. He came out and got his ass beat. But before that, he was a threat. We knew he was gonna get his ass beat, but it was something like that made it look like T'Challa, Black Panther, had to earn.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he came in almost to a villainous level. He was bigger. He was louder. He was very physically threatening. The character ended up being very funny too.
Yeah.
Very funny in a way I didn't expect. I mean, the guy was charming.
Well, that's the thing. So the character in the comic book is Man-Ape, right? And that sounds ridiculous to me. I'm like, that sounds kind of bad. How are they going to put him in there? So I thought he was just going to be a big bad to just throw in there to kind of get beat the first time and that's it. But then they bring him back and then they make him kind of on a level of charming very similar to Black Panther in a more jokey kind of way, in a way that kind of worked. And he ended up being one of my favorite characters of the movie.
No, that's one of my favorite characters, and I'd love to see more from this actor here. What are you gonna say?
Oh, just his character, it really illustrates the difference between a rival and an enemy.
Yeah, yeah, no, because
he's like, I'm a rival for the throne, but I respect the kingdom.
Yeah.
And the position, as opposed to Killmonger, who's like, fuck everything.
Burn it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? He's still, and as we see in the movie where he chooses not to fight, and I would say that there's two things with this character. First of all, I love some of the predictability with him because you know that at some point him and Black Panther are going to join up. And you like that character enough for them to do that.
Oh yeah, at the point where he says like, "I'm not bringing my army to fight with you," I was like, "Why are we messing around? Why are we bullshitting?
Negro, stop lying.
You gonna come in at the end with the army?"
Yeah, I knew when he said that. I rolled my eyes because he said, "I will not help you," and I was like, Han Solo.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the exact words I thought too. Han
Black Solo.
And then as people came in,
It's like when you go see a band and they get to the end and they just walk off stage without saying goodnight, everybody. It's like, all right, let's do the dance. Let's clap so they can come back out for this encore that we already know they got planned. God damn it.
That was one of the things that made me criticize the movie when I said that the third act had a lot of predictability. That was one of them. I couldn't say it in review, but Mbaku, the moment he says, "I'm not showing up," God, come on, man. We know it.
Plus, it's in the trailer. Him
showing up. There it is right there.
Like, okay, well, I saw you
Well,
like 2
Daniel
months ago.
Kaluuya didn't see him coming.
which I mean, that's supposed to be Daniel Kaluuya, but they very carefully put an extra in there. It looks nothing like him. So if you were to freeze frame it, that's not Daniel Kaluuya. That's just some random dude.
That really is. King T'Challa, Black Panther, Trump, they just alike. See, he knows.
I know. I saw people saying he's an isolationist and blah blah blah. And as this movie goes, I'm like, Killmonger's way more Trump than Black Panther is.
But people just heard the story where this man lived. King T'Challa lives in a country where they close themselves off to other people. They keep their technology and resources safely guarded. They're xenophobic. They don't trust people. They look after their own. And you know what? You're right about all that. Until Black Panther says, "Wow, fuck this, I was wrong." Yeah. And I knew that was going to happen. Y'all don't even look. In the movie, the biggest thing that they end with, when again he's at the UN, fools build barriers, the wise build bridges. Yeah. He realized everything that he was doing was wrong and that he had to work with the rest of the world. And all you alt-right people out there, y'all were trying hard. I give it to y'all trying hard. Y'all didn't even see the movie yet. I just like, yeah, okay, y'all keep doing that. And that's what again, the end of the movie ends up being about being one world.
Well, what I was saying about, you're right about what you're saying. And the thing with Killmonger is that he comes in with this kind of populist view of, hey, we need to be stronger and project this strength in the world. And sure, I want to put the vibranium technology out there. It's just to bring war. But he's very much Trump in that, hey, we have these traditions, these things that work, and he comes in, fuck that. We're doing it this way. That tradition, nah, burn all that stuff. Tear it down, start over, we're doing it my way.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we've been, all this time we've had these things that work, and you just shit all over it.
And you know what? And
honestly, like, I think what keeps me from saying Killmonger is the best villain is because he is so sympathetic, everything, up until he gets there and he's in power. And then everything he does after that, I'm like, man, you're so smart to get here, and you're not being smart about how you're doing this.
But but again, I don't think that's a flaw because they say that about him in the movie. I mean, the whole point is that he is so consumed with rage and hatred that he can't. They tell him you can't rule, man.
Yeah.
You know, we look.
You're not fit.
I like the way Michonne. She's like, look, I tried to rock with you for a little bit. You are fucking crazy. And you
like
know,
Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like I tried to get behind him. She's like, I voted for Killmonger because I wanted something different.
I have an allegiance to my country. Right? That's the real idea, right? And he went off the fucking rails against everything that Wakanda stood for.
But he became what everybody was talking about. He became a conqueror and a colonialist.
Yeah.
He was going to go out, kill people, kill children to restart the world and take over.
It was literally kill Whitey. Like the whole time was just this policy was kill Whitey.
No, I felt sympathy for him. I understood where he was coming from. Well, the thing I will say though is that he's still a sociopath. Even seeing the movie, like. I don't know if we can get into this spoilery section, but when he confronts Claw, and we see that he has a love interest of his own, which doesn't really get to do much, but he killed her. And he doesn't do anything with her. And it's
his girlfriend? Yeah.
And so really, when it comes down, he is very much like Trump, where he's only loyal to himself at the end of the day.
There's so many moments in here where they pull back, and they have these small little details where, like Sterling K. Brown, who plays his dad, who's happy as hell. He's like, yeah, I got my Black Panther call.
Did you get the call? What call? Oh, nothing.
He's like, shit, I got up in the club.
Man, his name has been bandied about in everything. Like everybody in television and directors are just talking about him. Singing his praises, even before this.
No, he's great in the movie, man. He plays Eric Killmonger's father. And they had that scene where they when they the ritual, they take the Black Panther juice and they go to the spiritual world and they talk to the ancestors.
Panther juice.
They really should. They really should. It would be some Ripple or malt liquor or some shit.
Well, they can squeeze mushrooms into it, make you trip a little bit. See your ancestors.
Be number some.
Man, you just gave somebody $1 million idea. Like they had the crystal blue from Breaking Bad. You're gonna have that Wakanda purple.
I know it's purple.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Shit, Uncle Leroy. Man, I'm glad to see you. Hey, man, cuz I ain't got your $5, all right? No, Michael K. Sterling, man, that was a great scene because
Sterling K. Brown.
I mean, Michael K. Sterling K. Brown. Jesus. Damn, I just made up a name for him.
Are you sure you're not on that Wakanda purple, man?
Letters in there.
Michael Washington III.
Michael KXW Malcolm.
Nah, this. But nah, man, he in the movie, they have that where they go and see their ancestors, our dead relative, and we see Killmonger go back and see him. And I love the way they did it because when he shows up, he's like, I told you not to go on my stuff, but I'll tell you about that. And he turns around and he's like, boy, what'd I tell you? He's a little boy immediately. He's like, ooh, I'm sorry, Daddy. He's like, yeah, I was looking for a certain thing. And he's like, what'd you find? He shows him that the artifact. And then at that moment, having a father and son moment where they're bonding. He's a little boy. He feels safe with this guy. And then he asks him, he's like, when he asks him about what's it like out there, and he says, yeah, everybody dies out here, man. Reality kicks in.
Oh, no, what he says was, he goes, no tears for me.
Oh, that's what it is.
No tears for me because, what's his name? Chadwick Boseman was crying when he saw his dad and was like, emotional, how do I be a good king? Do that. So when he comes back, what's the dad's name, I guess, the character's name? Something like that. Yeah. He's there waiting for his son, like, oh yeah, he's king now. I guess I saw this, right? Imagining heaven, right? I saw this, no tears for me. You're not emotional that you get to see me again. And then the little kid goes, people die, that's what they do.
Yeah, so.
And I didn't have a problem with that line, but I'll tell you something that I disassociated with a little bit with Killmonger, where that line is to imply that he grew up in a bad neighborhood, that people were dying all around him, and that was those things. And I know that line hit a lot of people very deep. And a lot of people probably saw that and go, you know what, I know exactly what that feels like. But for someone who didn't grow up, I'm just being perfectly honest, someone who didn't grow up in a dangerous neighborhood or anything like that, I was like, man, I'm missing something here.
And that last line that he had in the movie where he just tells him, I mean, that's what got me. Like, this guy had knowledge to drop up until his death. And he's a villain, but he said something that meant something. Mm-hmm. I just bury me in the ocean where I can die like my ancestors who knew that death was better than bondage.
Who jumped the ships.
Who knew that ships. Yeah, man, I was like, wow, this for a villain, man, he has so much to say. Mm-hmm. And all of his truth, really. I mean, even with his actions, it's kind of like, man, you took it too far, but there's truth behind it.
I just thought Black Panther being like, boy, you're just going to rub it into the end, aren't you?
Like, God, can you just say thank you? Because even Black Panther's like, man, let me try to save you. Like, nah. So he locked me up. You're like, damn, man.
I'm showing you the sunset. Come on, man.
He should have just took his ass and threw him off the cliff. You threw me off the waterfall.
All hail the king.
No, brother. Nah, how did you see all this stuff
Here's
like
the
this,
thing.
man?
That was such a great moment, and it worked for the film in that moment, but I'm still disappointed that they decided to kill him. Because I felt like he could bring so much more to these films. I'm not saying do the whole Thor and Loki relationship again, but there was... You could you want to do a redemption arc, but make it actually be redemptive, and not where it's like he's going to betray him.
There's
always
do
something.
There's always that feeling of waste when they kill off a good villain. You're like, oh, much you could do in the future.
It's like with Claw. I was like, he served his purpose. It's fine.
I look at Claw here, and I'm like thinking the same thing. I thought, even though that he wasn't the best villain because he was doing more cackling, I still liked him. And I thought, you know what, we got to deal with that with movies where they just kill people. And Claw is somebody who's always around. I thought, man, that feels weird that they killed him. And they killed him with like a definite kill.
Yeah, I mean, it felt weird, but his death had such a purpose for everything else.
Yeah. It did.
Where it's like, okay, if you're going to do it, that's the way to go.
I'll tell you this, I still think they kind of left an open for Killmonger to be alive.
Really?
Yeah, because they show him fall over. There was no burial. There was no definite death. You don't know if T'Challa put one of those little vibranium balls up inside him or something. You know,
I mean,
why
he's not
would
wrong.
he though?
you know, because
He's family.
Because he's exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Claw.
Oh no, Claw's gone.
Yeah.
No,
They killed that motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. He could have decided to save Killmonger anyway.
Yeah, so I think that there's if he's famous, I mean, are popular enough, they left an open for,
He's
for him to bring
popular
back.
enough.
Oh
They
yeah.
know they have
In fact, I will go on record right now saying that they will find a way to bring him back. Lupita Nyong'o, it showed her at her spy best, but later on in the movie, Lupita Nyong'o did something else that we don't see very often in films, and that's romance. At least romance of this type, of this grand spectacle, with two black people actually being what it is, romantic. You know, I remember the end of the movie where they shared that kiss, and again, you know, it's funny how we don't see this too much where it's played up like this, but it was believe it or not, we rarely see that. Where romance is played out this way to this size with two people of color.
And as something Danielle brought up was how they didn't over-sexualize the women or feel the need to make him some kind of Mac Daddy.
I will say about the romance that I really appreciate, which I think Marvel has been getting better at it, is like I think back to like the first Thor movie and how like Natalie Portman's character, she was just there to ogle Thor. That was it. And that was her entire character. Here, I like the romance is subtle. It builds over time. That's Lupita Nyong'o. She's not just there to be the love interest. You know, she's a spy. She has a role in the story, you know, in the action scenes. Like, she had a role in every single moment in the movie that felt real to me.
The Dora Milaje, what I like about it is that they are women who go against body types. They're bald, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, they take pride in themselves being natural. I hope that this convinces more women of color, black people in particular, to like black women in particular, to like wear your hair naturally. You know, I've been saying that for years. Like the perm thing is that is something that is pressured by society. You know, I think right now, because also, you know, you get a job, they say, why are you wearing your hair like that? Oh, we require your hair to be like this. You know, believe it or not, on some jobs, they require women to look like that. This is a film where it's giving all women, not just black, but all women of different types, confidence in being who they are outside of what they're socially told to look like.
Sure.
The movie is really violent for what it is, and they get around it. Like that car chase scene when they run over a body, and she was like, "What was that?"
I know.
Like, You're going.
That's funny because I just thought of Deadpool in that moment. I was
Yeah.
like, where they made the camera, hey, stop and show this.
Oh yeah. Although you know this car chase, another complaint of mine. No police anywhere.
Well, yeah, it's no police. It's way too much CGI, so there's no real feel of stakes or like any of it's really happening. It's just one of the things in there where I was throughout the movie is so based on technology. That's why I was like, man, you can't have a subpar CGI if you're going to show all this technology in there.
Yeah, and that's another thing we talked about earlier. Sammy, you were saying how when Black Panther's jumping around, how weightless it feels. It feels like a CG character, you know.
If you look at something like this, where he just kind of collapses down, it's like, okay, well, how did he jump from? Where did he jump from? How did he, If the CG or if the effect is not there, where you're starting to question it, you're like, or it's going on too long and it's not as engaging as say like another action scene or something. You start questioning things like that. And
with the job, the fantastic job Ryan Coogler did with the fight scenes in Creed, I was disappointed by the fight stuff in his.
Yeah, and plus, listen, it's a small thing, but I did just cringe a little bit every time that suit came on. You know, it's just, I get when the fabric falls off of him, it just doesn't. No, it doesn't feel natural.
Like the way he jumped, like backward, the way he backflipped. Like he's jumping way too high, but he's not putting any emphasis. Like his body's not doing the motion that you would need to do, even with superpowers. You'd have to squat down like a high jumper or something, like an Olympian. Squat down and then lift your body. And this is just like, oh, I'm just gonna do it tippy toes, and he just flies up. Watch.
Yeah.
See, like. The physics there doesn't work, and it doesn't look natural.
Vibranium.
The sneakers, quote unquote.
Yeah.
The worst offense is the rhinos at the end.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Okay, I don't know. Maybe. Okay, go ahead.
Because one, it was completely unnecessary to have them in there. It's like you showed Daniel Kaluuya, tending rhinos, but just fighting with people is enough. Then you throw in all these armored rhinos. Kind of a dumb concept to begin with.
Why you gotta have some toys?
yeah, that's like the only reason. But then they didn't even look good.
Even when they're standing still, when we first see them, like, they're going to be in the film later on. And even here, they don't look very.
You know what? There was, I don't know, maybe it's the toyetic part of the movie or just the '90s part of me. The little kid that's like, fucking vibranium rhinos. That to me made me like, that's so cool. How did you kill that?
Yeah, it's
something
silly.
geeked out. Something geeked out of me where it was silly. It was dumb. It didn't make any sense, but I thought it was cool as shit.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, remind me of Beast Wars, like from Transformers.
Yeah, and I love Beast Wars. And that's my thing.
I watched it too. But,
Yeah.
man,
So, like, I don't know. And I thought of like, how do you take down a vibranium rhino? That sentence alone sounds awesome to me, you know?
It's a comic book movie, and if you're gonna do it, at least they kept it stylized in a way. It's rhinos. Rhinos are indigenous to Africa. I was like, all right, cool, man.
But then you contrast that with Adora Milaje soldier getting her throat slit like 2 minutes earlier.
And that's what it is. Yeah. Beast Wars is fine, but I don't want it in my serious Black Panther movie. This is for the stakes of the kingdom, and people are dying.
I don't know. I think vibranium rhinos is a nice little up the ante right there. Oh, we're losing?
Yeah, I like that. That brother ran on that rock.
Like, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, Rhino.
Roll out.
If we're talking about Daniel Kaluuya, let's talk about things that we didn't expect coming in the movie. We talked earlier how everybody hates his character.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's what earlier we were talking about. But everybody was, even as Killmonger was a hardcore, clear villain in the movie, everybody was cheering him on almost. Daniel Kaluuya. People sitting behind me like, man, fuck him up. Punk ass motherfucker. Man, people mad.
Yeah.
Punk ass bitch ass motherfucker.
He's a total traitor. I was like, hey, I'm your best friend. Oh, but you didn't do that one thing I wanted. So fuck you. I'm going to stab you in the back.
That was some petty shit.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, too.
You're my best friend, Peter, and then he fucking betrays him.
Yeah, he didn't even give him a chance to explain. Slip through your hands. And he just like, you a bitch just like your father. He just walked out like, motherfucker, fuck you.
Your father's dead. Fuck you.
Like, do you know we did out there? How we took an ass whooping for that? Take your punk ass out there and get him.
Exactly.
I didn't hate him. I kind of figured that Killmonger was going to get some type of support, and they kind of set up like, okay, he's going to be the traitor. So
yeah, and
it worked for the film.
It did. And they needed somebody on the inside so that they could like.
It wasn't a flaw in the film. It's just one of those.
It worked.
But it just makes me laugh to hear.
Well, you like him so much in Get Out, and you're like, oh man, I think this guy's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
He went through that. In our minds, it's not Daniel Kaluuya, it's the guy from Get Out. So it's like, oh man, I want to feel. Man, fuck that guy.
Fuck this. As Sammy was saying, you just wanted somebody out there in the battlefield with a teacup.
Right. I wish the cops got your ass. Fuck you, man.
Zuri, played by Forrest Whitaker. Boy, I ain't never seen that one eye get so wide when he was trying to do that accent.
So I guess it's in Forrest Whitaker's contract that he has to die in every movie.
No, they stabbed his ass. He didn't do nothing either.
Save the dream. What? You're not even in the right movie.
I love the way he looked like when he told Killmonger, no, take me. But no, I didn't mean it.
Take me.
He's like, this motherfucker really stabs me.
Take me. Fine.
Wait, you're supposed to give it time for somebody else to say take me too. And it's off me.
He really
Damn
looks
it,
like,
man.
he's like, fuck, nobody ever does that. Shit. But yeah, I did not see that coming. And I didn't see that him being the young spy at the beginning.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I got a brother that looked just like him.
Man, that second act is all full of surprises.
It really is. It really is. I like the way the guy who plays him, who plays young Forrest Whitaker, actually is named Whitaker. I don't know if he's related to him. His name is Denzel Whitaker. I guess they named.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Whitaker won over the Denzel.
His mama's like, you gonna win an Oscar, boy. Just by name alone.
Can I tell you one of my favorite parts of the movie, though? Where, Black Panther, with Forrest Whitaker in it, Black Panther the whole time is calm, collect, and he's trying to figure out stuff. He hears about what his dad did from Killmonger, and there's that scene in the underground garden area, and, they're like, hey, I want you to tell me the truth. And Forrest Whitaker's like, I told the king that I would never. And he goes, I am your king. I was like, fuck.
That shit got me.
That shit got me because it's like, okay, T'Challa is human. He gets mad. He has he's not just this cool guy all the time. And he never uses that, He's trying to be a good king, but he never uses that kingdom as like, I have this over you. I have this over you. You need to kneel to me like his dad was, right?
That was a cool thing about T'Challa being so cool to the movie. Like, he never yells. So when he yells, he's mad. Because that shit caught me off guard. Because Forrest Whitaker he didn't see that shit coming. I'm your goddamn. Okay, man.
He dropped his juice. Oh shit.
Yes.
Dropped his purple drink. Oh shit.
I understand if you don't understand where we're coming from, but it really does mean a lot to us. And when you grow up confused, conflicted, angry, because when you grow up not having anything like this, that's a positive influence. When you're always a sidekick, or you're always getting killed in movies, you're always there for comedic effect, you're always somebody who's meant to die, whatever. Or you're a subservient character, you're always getting your ass beat in movies. And never seen anything like this. You grow up confused, you grow up not even liking who you are. I've been through all that. Mm-hmm. And to see this and have kids be able to see this, it does give people hope. Like, that positive imagery is going to change things. The message behind this is going to change things. And maybe it won't, But being told, like, you're not valuable enough from Hollywood because Hollywood always said you will never sell. You don't understand how much that means growing up, being told from the media, you are not valuable enough to sell anything except Jerry Curl juice and malt liquor, whatever, whatever.
Well, think of it the same way. I mean, I can think about growing up as a kid. How many white superhero guys, just be honest, white superhero guys did I look up to? A lot. Iron Man and Captain Wolverine and all that stuff. But what did I have? What did you guys have, right? That was the thing. Another point I'll bring up 2 more points kind of on that thing.
Yeah.
My niece is half white, half Mexican. Light skin, blonde hair. She came out of that movie and she loved Letitia Wright's character Shuri because she likes science. She's a little girl like science. Now, a lot of black girls will go in, little black girls, and will say, like, I want to be her because she's funny and cool, but then she's also an engineer.
Sure.
And she's also smart. Probably the smartest person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for my little niece to also see that in somebody that was African American, who, has, by skin color, a ton of privilege, and then, by sister, makes good money. So this kid is privileged. But to see a young black woman be like, that's somebody I want to be, that's inspiring.
That means a lot to women in general, too.
To women, to everybody, because it doesn't matter what ethnicity, black people are being seen as heroes, and not just to black kids, but to other kids that like this stuff too.
Man, but you make some good points, man. And I don't mean to get heavy on you, but I mean, when you're told you're not be able to sell anything, you're not valuable, then that wears on you, man. It really does. It gets to you. And if this movie had been a failure, it would have been heavy on a lot of people's hearts. The fact that this movie did so well, it's a celebration. And again, don't take it as a black thing. Having everybody be seeing a positive attitude breaks these stereotypes and prejudices that we have about each other. I get the feeling like the last part of the movie, because you remember they had that little snotty ass congressman up there. Excuse me, but what can a country
of goat farmers do for us?
What can a bunch of black farmers do for me?
Yeah, I didn't know he was gonna say farmers. I think he was gonna say something else. What you goat fuckers gonna do? Oh shit, dude. You're at the UN, man. But no, he had that attitude about him, man. I was like, what the fuck?
So what can you farmers
do for us? I didn't want to say it, but